Hello everyone, how's it going? Dr. Incompetent here, and let's play some Darkest Dungeon 2, shall we? Well, goodness. It's been a while since I've played Darkest Dungeon 2, and there's been a bunch of updates since I played last. In fact, if we open up the patch notes here, unfortunately, Obsession's Gaze is the latest patch. I thought we were going to get one earlier today. According to the website, it was supposed to be today, but it might not. Might have got pushed back. We got the Altar of Hope also added, and I really don't know what to make of all of the new content since I played last. So I'm just going to dive in with a new journey and see if anything just jumps out. I think it also is longer than, it's ever been. Hey Bronwyn, what's up my friend? Thank you for subscribing. So we're going to begin a new journey here. Just play a roguelike that rips you apart, heart and soul. Alex, good evening my friend. Good to see you. Alright. Hey, Pandora, good evening. Good to see you. You got that right. Patch notes are always a beautiful thing. All right, choose your...
Indistinct and ill-lighted. No comfort awaits you here.
Confession? Okay. We have to start at Denial. And I don't know if you have to start here and later they're going to unlock the rest of these. But right now we're doing this one. I'll sign it.
You have cowered in your crumbling denial long enough.
I have. I've definitely cowered in my crumbling denial. Alright, let's ride this wagon. We're going.
I remember our first meeting on the steps of the university.
Good.
A collegial handshake. That would doom us both.
Yes, it did.
Your insightful questions during my lectures gave me pause.
Okay.
And I recognized in you something of a kindred spirit. Despite our differences in age and position, we shared a keen fascination for archaeology, folklore, and, of course, occultism.
Of course.
The crossroads. A place between places.
Okay, so, what's interesting about this is, it looks like they're starting me over from the tutorial, and before, like, once I died, I was able to just kind of start a new team out. So maybe it's because every time they patch it significantly, it just wipes you and you have to kind of start at the beginning. But thinking about the story now that I've beaten the first game, you know, the narrator is speaking here, and, oh, cool, Pandora. Well, then you're coming in, you'll know a lot about it just by seeing it that carries over from the first game, but there's also a lot that's different. The narrator is the ancestor, right? And then if the ancestor is indeed, I don't want to spoil the first game, but anyway, this must precede the first one or be on a similar timeline. I'm not really sure how this is supposed to be working. Anyway, we're at the crossroads. Okay, and here's our party. And indeed, we can go with a random party, and we need to unlock these new hero types. Right now, we just have a plague doctor, a grave robber, a highwayman, and a wonderful man-at-arms, although he's a wanderer so far. So we're going to choose this party, because this is just fine with me. So we're going to go 1...
Pride. More devastating than the horrors of 100 campaigns.
2, 3,
Avarice slips unseen
4.
into the catacombs of the mind.
Now this is called the usual suspects. I could go... Can you go like... No, you can't. You can't just go double highwayman. You have to go this group of 4. Okay. Let's go. Alright. And diving on in. The valley. That looks great. I can't wait. It's passed. Okay. So, I'm terrible at driving, but you want to hit these piles because good things can sometimes happen or pop out of there. And so that means you need to kind of drive and... Yeah, I missed that one by the way that I drove. And I need to position myself better. Here comes an event right here. It's an altar of hope. Hey, Heidi Amazing. Good evening. You know, I think that's a great question, Heidi. No. You're not saving another hamlet. In fact, you don't have a hamlet. You're kind of like the last hope for civilization on wheels. Your wagon and the beacon of hope that you're carrying is, like, represents all that separates us from being consumed by the shadow, is the way I understand it. So you're mobile in this game, and in that sense, it's more of a roguelike than a roguelite than the first one, but keep in mind, I've only played a few hours of this. All right, Altar of Hope, what you got for us? Okay. So this is like, we could go... Okay, this is different than it used to be. I haven't played since this has happened, so... Usually these altars will let you do people's backstory to, like, unlock more potential for the hero types that you choose. So there is this roguelike element to it. So, like, if I go to the Living City, for example...
These are beaten, broken souls, and yet our fortunes ride with them.
Right. So, I don't... Like, there are separate upgrades for each hero that can be earned by going here. But boy, this is all new to me at this point. This says if we get here, we can find a rat skull, and the highwayman could equip it and get a bunch of bonuses to damage, but then you receive a lot less healing. Okay, interesting. So, we'll go here. Oh, you have 18. I see. So you're, like, risking this. Can I take this back? I didn't realize what I was doing. So if I go to 1, we can get the rat skull. And if I go here, we can get a indelible trinket, the price of pride. So let's just get everybody something. Now, I don't know if I want to get the Hellion anything, but this is actually cool. So, since I've played the game, there's way more heroes to choose from. There's a Hellion, there's a Runaway, there's a Jester, Leper, Cultist, Bounty Hunter, all things that we're familiar with, except for the Runaway. That's entirely new to me. And there is no Crusader, of course. We believe that Sir Reynold has passed away, but not sure. And what's... I can get the rogue path. Oh, okay, yeah, get that. And then...
More light, a little more strength.
You know what this is? This is just leveling me up without doing anything. I don't think I understood what was going on here. So I'm just getting to kind of, like, level my people up. So this is 25% plus damage. This is... They take less damage. Definitely get that. This is more damage. Yes. Oh, it's got such of a gambling issue with some of these skills. 25% max healing, okay. And then anything good if I go here. And then what's up here? These are very similar. All right, I'm just going to crank my highwayman like that. And then good. Now, I might have used all the hope on my wagon and just leave the game, lose it, but I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, the road calls. Let's see what happened. I hope I was not spending this currency and was just using points that I got from finding that. So maybe in terms of, like, how they're evolving the game, because that's new to me. And I'm just going to kind of talk about my observations of what has changed since I've played the game last. maybe early on in the run, they're giving you some customization, because before it was very grindy to even get any choices, but maybe they want to help you start out with some. I don't know. And the enemies get 10% battle advantage. That's not good. On the road again, indeed, Pandora. So we're pulling around this wagon, and you can see nothing. You can stop, and there's no penalty, but you can also, like, try to steer these horses, and they're not easy to steer, but you want to go through these piles of leaves, because sometimes there's just treasure, or there used to be. Finish this quickly, our light dwindles. Yeah, that's bad. You don't want this to go out. It becomes awful. It's like your torch. Alright, so here's a group of peasants, the desperate few. They're struggling. They need some help. Okay, let's see what we can do for them. Alright, so this is similar to what has happened before. And basically, they want help. And you can take their suggestion and you can give them, for example, let them unite under the banner of our light. And then you can give them an item to receive. No, we would give them an item and 100 of our light, which I don't even think we have. And people synergize with the choices that you make. So, for example, Barristan wants to do this, and Audrey likes it. They shine together. Now, the Plague Doctor and the Highwayman don't care either way. So, let's do this. Let's get some food for them, I guess.
Abandoned or forgotten.
Oh, okay. So what happens is... Oh, wouldn't that be hilarious, Pandora? I don't think so, at least so far. No, actually, no. We just took stuff from them. So we got 100 flame and we got a bunch of food. Now, this is bad food because it diseases you, but it's at least something. So I don't know what we gave them in return, but they helped us out. Poor blighters indeed. All right, we're turning the corner. All right. And so because we have a bright light, see, we're like, our torch goes with the wagon. Now we're at 4% plus crit. We get a haste, 10% death blow resist, and 3% chance of blocking per round or something, which is not bad. We'll take it. And here comes another situation.
His attention is unfocused, as though he is in two places at once.
Yep, it's the Hoarder. So this guy will look familiar if you played the first Graveyard Keeper as the caretaker, I believe. So you can buy stuff. Now look at this. We started out with money. In the previous incantations that I've played, you didn't have money. So this says there's like a tutorial here. Right, indeed. And we could read this for more info, I suppose, if we wanted. Encounters, click and hold, inventory. So this is reset my account entirely and is having me like learn even the tutorials again, which is fine. I'll have to look through these if I have specific questions. But before, it used to be much harder to buy anything. Now you can buy upgrades to your wagon. So these upgrades to your wagon are like upgrading your hamlet, but they're only for the run. So we could buy this to get more storage space. Right now, I think we could buy this to, you know, have better positive banter because you have suspension. That's hilarious. Location scouting. Interesting. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to buy a pouch of lye. Bandage. And items are just way different than they were in the previous game, too. You have to equip them with people. Let's see. Wow, a glimmer of hope just gives you 15 flame. I've never seen that before. That seems good. Anti-venom, sure. Okay. These are items that you use at the inn. And these are trinkets that we could get, but we don't have this currency, so we don't have any baubles or mastery points. Hey, Graham, good evening, my friend. Good to see you. I'm doing great. How are you doing? So, because we bought some items, we can go to Barristan, for example, and equip stuff on him. So, like, we could give him this bandage. And he's got this positive quirk going, and he's also a curmudgeon. Hey, Megan, good evening. Thanks for liking the stream. Not right now, Pandora, but I don't know if that's something I have to unlock with progress, or if it's just the you know, game is still in early access, if they just haven't developed it yet. Okay, let's go to our next person. And Dismas, we're going to give anti-venom, and Audrey can have the Glimmer of Hope, and Paracelsus can have the Lie. There we go. Good enough. I'm out. Let's go, buddy. Okay. That ghastly man, the way he was leering. Now, I didn't spend all my money. I don't know if it's intelligent to do so or not. But I'm just rolling around. Going a little bit slow here. Alright. We got a nice light going. We're going to go forward. And I'm going to try to hit this leaf pile if I can. And yeah, you heard the chink of money right there. So if I go into our inventory, I feel like we got something back there, but I could be wrong about that. Okay, let me go over here. And let's go. Okay. There we go. And here's our bridge.
More harshly on the far side of the brook.
Indeed. So things are going to get a little harder as we go through this covered bridge. And we're going to have to ram through this pile of junk. And this usually means an encounter, like some rabble of nightmares has set up camp. And these are like zombies. Wouldn't that be hilarious, Pandora? I wouldn't put it past the game. Alright, so let's see if the combat has changed any. Okay, so right now, it's turn-based. Once in battle, there's no retreat, indeed. So we're going, and it looks like we get to go before them. I don't see them on the turn order, so Dismas can take aim, and tracking shot, we can duelist advance, pistol shot, or we can wicked slice. Okay. And this does put double riposte on you. There's a way to see what all of the here we go, the token glossary. So yeah, this does put riposte on you like in the first game. So let's go ahead and duelist advance. And I don't know, I'm going to try to take out this widow. She looks sinister. Like she's back there trying to do something mean. Alright, so we got her. Alright, and then... Oh yeah, Pandora, the stress bar is right down here. So if I mouse over, you see I have health and I have stress. In my experience so far, relationships matter a lot more than they did in the first game, and they affect the combat in ways that is staggering. Now you can see the enemies on the turn order, so the lost soul will be going after us. So we can do blinding gas, and we can do a noxious blast. We can't, we could only hit the widow with the blinding gas, and these actually have good resistance to blight, unfortunately. So let's just try to blind that widow. And she's been blinded, so she has a 50% chance to miss the next attack, which is fantastic. And let's go ahead and see what we can do here. Let's see. She can hit these 2 targets with her daggers, and I think that's about as good as we're going to get. We got a crit. Glorious. All right. Now, I want you to actually attempt to... Let me look at the token glossary again. It's days. Yeah, let's go ahead and rampart this dude. Hey, Alex, that's a great question. Now, she's got eyes. They're just sunken back into her head. You see that mirror she's got, Alex? She's checking herself out. She totally has eyes. Oh, gosh, we got it. Death blow. So, we'll see if they change that at all. But do you notice how there was a death blow right there, right? Aw, she did not miss. Being blind did not stop her. So, what was so brutal about the game when I played it last was that you didn't guaranteed kill enemy if you took them to 0 health or below. They would get a chance to resist being killed and be on death's door, just like you would be in the first game. And so enemies could just sit there with like no health and still operate. And it was maddening because you didn't know if you were going to kill them or not. So as you were trying to like plan your turns, you weren't sure like, well, are you going to die or what's going to happen here? Anyway, we're going up, and we got the death blow.
One less obstacle in our path.
And we're just going to go ahead and let's see. I could try to knock back. I can try to defend. I know, it's terrifying, Pandora. We're just going to crush this guy. We have a bunch of turns to get some damage on this dude, so let's do it. I'm going to do this. He's good against that damage, but we can still... Oh, we had stun. Darn. That's too bad. Alright, so we got a bunch of stress right there. And let's see if... By the way, I don't know if it's the same as it was before also, but there was only a set number of rounds. It might only be 3 rounds, and if you don't beat the enemies before the 3 rounds are over, then the fight just ends and you don't get rewards. It's so brutal. It used to be anyway. Hey, Nasal, what's up, my friend? Thank you for subscribing. Alright, so... I'm just going to shoot this. Oh, I can't. Can we slice him? Yeah. There you go. Okay, we killed them all, which means that we get to go to the reward screen.
Though unpleasant in the extreme, this work is noble and necessary.
It is noble and necessary. So we got 2 mastery points, okay, that we use to upgrade hero skills, which is great. Those didn't used to be easy to get.
Push on to the inn.
So they've changed the game a lot. Now, there was supposed to be an update that dropped today, but unfortunately I don't think it came out, so we'll have to wait and see when they do that. But I'm really excited to see how the game is, like they're balancing the game. Alright, so we made it to the first inn, actually. Boy, that was a lot easier than it was the last time.
Rest now for a time.
Okay, I haven't seen this artwork yet. We're at the Torch and Crown, and, you know, the woman... I'm assuming that this is a woman. It could be a man, I don't know. But this look of, I have the sheet over my head like I'm a ghost, but then I have the crown of roses, and then I'm holding a rose, but then I have barbed wire wrapped around the arm. There's a lot happening with this, and I personally would not want to sleep at the Torch and Crown if this was the proprietress, but seeing how terrifying the rest of the world is, I mean, you can see these inky shadows just ebbing by outside, you know, like a foul miasma. The world is so bad that I would sleep here, you know, and we're going to. So we reached the Torch and Crown, and you can see here we are. There's our travel log, and we're going to say continue. Now here we are at the inn, And this is like kind of your temporary rest place. You can see we're all by the fire. Now, you can give people items like this. So, for example, we could heal up, but nobody needs any healing. We're good. Now, what we could do is go to the provisioner who...
Precious relics remind us of a time before the end.
Indeed, they do. And we can try to buy something from the provisioner that we might want to use. Like, this would help, you know, this gives you resistance until the next inn, and that's pretty far. I don't know what that kind of resistance is, and that's blight, that's disease or plague or whatever, but what is, let me see if I can find the token glossary. What are these arrows? What kind of resistance was that? I don't even see those arrows on my glossary. You see what I mean? Like, I don't know if this is, but they're selling this, the ceremonial drum, and it says plus 40%, you know, kind of purplish arrows pointing to the right resistance until next inn. But on the token glossary, I really didn't see. Anyway, I'm not going to buy it. If I don't know what it's doing, I'm not accepting it. Move. Oh, like being moved around in combat? That would make sense, Pandora. We don't need that. I don't really need any of this, to be honest. I mean, the Glimmer of Hope for only 3, though, is actually pretty good. So I'll buy some of that, sure. Okay. Now, we do get mastery points.
The means of mastery.
So what mastery does is, like, we have 2 mastery points, and we can level up a skill of one of our people. Like, so if or maybe 2. So we have 2 total, and dismiss, we can say, all right, I want to pump something up. Like, if we pump up Duelist Advance, for example, it would give you haste, or no, it gives you a dodge and 3 riposte, and it does more damage. So this is, like, amazing. I'll use 1 on that. Okay, and it only takes 1 to do that. And now this skill is leveled up, and you can't level it up again. So we can go and see, well, who else do we want to level up? Now, hers, flashing daggers, I wonder that too. Right now I have no real trinkets. This is like doubling the damage and the crit of her, you know, arguably her best ability. But let's get some healing. So our healing right now is Battlefield Medicine, and we have 3 uses of it, and it says if hit points less than 50%, heal 20%, remove bleeding, plague, or blight, and fire. And then if we upgrade it, it heals 25%, and it removes these things from the Plague Doctor as well. So, yeah, that's pretty decent. Now, this, actually, you know whose is amazing was this. So, Bolster is like the only way I have right now of relieving stress. So if I do Bolster, right now it says self, stress 5+, you lose a stress. And if the target is stress 5 or above, they lose a stress. But if I level this up, it goes to 2 stress that you would be able to remove if they're above 5. So I'm going to do this just for anti-stress. I don't know if that's the wrong choice, but I like it. Okay, great. So now, let's go ahead and jump out, and we can select our route. You can also go to the Wainwright.
Be maintained if it is to carry you where you must go.
And here is where you can, like, equip things on your wagon, boss trophies, stagecoach equipment, and a pet. And we don't have any of that right now. So we're going to go to select our route. Now this is where you get to make a choice.
Torment. Every turn bent on our destruction.
Indeed. So yeah, that's a great point, Pandora. The picks do have that penetration, right? That's a good point. Here we go. So if we go to the Shroud, the goal is to visit 2 Oblivion's Ingress, and if we do it, we get an extra mastery point. And if we clear the lair, we get 3 candles of hope, which are the altar currency where we went at the beginning and I had like 20 points to spend and leveled everybody up. But I like mastery points myself, so I'm going to go to Bat Country because tentacles.
The barnacled timbers of the coastal villages are sodden with salt and secrets.
That's right, salt and secrets. Let's do it. Let's go. Embark it. Yes, journey onward. We're ready. Get out of these armchairs. Let's go. Who knows what's going to happen? The Shroud. Sweet.
Propriety floats listless on the tide, brined in noxious degradation.
Hey, stuff and secrets. Good evening, my friend. Salt and secrets indeed. So now you're getting into the Slay the Spire part where you have pathing, similar to Spell Rogue that we were looking at, right?